A community strategist for German publisher Daedalic Entertainment has indicated the company will no longer work with Sweet Baby Inc. in the future. However, while he says that, he is also accusing gamers of trying to harm an indie developer, that indie developer being Spitfire Interactive and their latest game, Capes. Before we get to this, I'd like to ask you, please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss any of our future videos here at the Trent Report. Roll this up over at thatparkplace.com. And so before we get to the most recent comments made by this community strategist of Daedalic Entertainment, let's kind of give you some background here. This game, Capes, was added to the DEI detected website as well as the Sweet Baby Inc. detected curator list by Cabrutus Rambo after it was revealed that Sweet Baby Inc. did indeed work on it. You can see here that the credits are right here. Sweet Baby Inc. did indeed work on it. You can see Chris Kindred is there. The company's co-founder, David Bedard, is listed as well, and 10 other people who worked on the game from Sweet Baby Inc. And this was posted to Christopher Odd's YouTube channel where he was doing like a playthrough for the game. So clearly, this game worked with Sweet Baby Inc. Daedalic and Spitfire Interactive worked with them. So as I said, Bruce Rainbow added it to his DEI detected website and his Steam curator list. He posted this on X at the beginning of the month. He says, "Sup, guys, I bring a new Sweet Baby Inc. game for y'all. Link below." And then that link is Capes to the DEI detected website. So this community strategist, his name is Penta, works for Daedalic Entertainment. He initially reacted to the game being added to the curator lists, writing on the game's Steam forums. And this is what he wrote. "We already had 3 months and 14 pages of constructive discussion about DEI in the forum and delivered a gameplay update focusing on exactly what the player base wanted, leading to approximately 80% positive recent reviews." He then continued saying, "You don't have to take my word for it. You can actually read up on it yourselves." And then he shared the link to that discussion. But we were already able to explain that Sweet Baby Inc. only worked briefly, mainly to bring the 4 to 5 people strong indie dev team in contact with fitting voice actors together with the devs 2+ years ago. And many first skeptical players were able to find out that there is no hidden agenda or something else we, quote, forced down your throats or other concerns they had besides a well-rounded, diverse cast. Obviously, he then concluded saying, "So why don't we just focus on the most important question that the original poster was mentioning already? Is Capes fun? And this is exactly why I brought up the positive reactions towards our most recent update. We think you would enjoy it if you give it a chance." However, I think that's a bunch of damage control, because if you actually look on the website, on the Steam forums, you see that the recent reviews are mixed. The all reviews are mixed as well. In fact, only 56% of the 32 reviews posted in the last 30 days are positive. Now, obviously, some of these reviews could have come in after he posted this earlier this month. But even when I was looking at the most recommended reviews, a lot of them were negative. And you also saw that they were pointing out that the voice acting was one of the big issues that they had, with the accents all over the place. And he is pointing to Sweet Baby Inc. as the one who set them up with these voice actors, saying that that was their main role. So I think there's a lot of damage control. Not sure how much I believed him in that post right here. Again, the evidence doesn't seem to be with him right there. But now he has a new post. This one is titled "Conclusive Statement About Sweet Baby Inc." We can see it right here. A little bit difficult to read, so I'll just read the article that I transcribed it for here. And it says this. First, he explained why there are 12 Sweet Baby Inc. employees listed in the credits. If all Sweet Baby Inc. did was act as an intermediary to find voice talent. Again, seems a little skeptical if all they were doing was being an intermediary, right, to find voice talent. But he said this: "It is an industry norm that if you contract a company, you credit the whole company, or at least that they tell you who they want listed in your credits. If we really would have wanted to hide something, we wouldn't have put Sweet Baby Inc. into the credits at all, nor would we have been already talking in the Steam forums about it during the last 3 months after release." So again, I'm a little bit skeptical of this because where is Kim Belair? Kim Belair is not listed in the credits. She is the co-founder and CEO of Sweet Baby Inc. But they did list David Bedard. They did list Chris Kindred. So I do find that a little interesting that Kim Belair is not listed on that list. They also have who else is on there? I think that is Maria Beck, not Maya, excuse me. So they do have one of their major players not listed, which to me means that they probably did a little bit more than just acting as a voice talent. They probably did indeed do some character work. That seems to be what Sweet Baby Inc. does indeed do when they contract with these games, is they do a lot of character work with these companies. So my guess is there's probably something that happened there. And I do think that they are probably hiding just how involved Sweet Baby Inc. was with this game. The idea that it was just putting them in touch with voice actors just is a little unbelievable to me. Nevertheless, he does say this, and this is a huge win here. This is a huge win. He indicates that Daedalic will no longer work with Sweet Baby Inc. moving forward. He said this: the devs collaborated with Sweet Baby Inc. in early 2022. We are aware of the statements being done by individuals connected to Sweet Baby Inc. in the years to come. But in 2022, there was no sign of that. It is likely that the decision would have been a different one in 2024. So maybe you think I'm misinterpreting that because he says likely that the decision would have been a different one. I think that is indicating that they probably aren't likely to work with Sweet Baby Inc. moving forward. Now, we'll see if that's the case, if they do indeed work with them moving forward with maybe some other developers that they publish. But it does look like that Daedalic might not be working with them moving forward. And remember, Daedalic, it literally had to shut down their entire development team after that abysmal Golem game that they released last year, probably the worst game of 2023. Had to completely shut down their entire development team and just focus on publishing moving forward. So this is a company that might be on the rocks a little bit, and getting in bed with Sweet Baby Inc. is not good for them. So I think there's reason for them to try to avoid working with Sweet Baby Inc. in the future because they don't want more games to end up like Capes where no one is playing. He then admitted that regardless of Sweet Baby Inc.'s involvement, the company is committed to inclusivity and equality. So this is a huge problem. So just because you're not working with Sweet Baby Inc. doesn't mean you can just inject the woke ideology that Sweet Baby Inc. wants to into your own company. That's absolutely why people are rejecting Sweet Baby Inc. is because they are pushing woke ideology. So this guy's like, we're not going to work with Sweet Baby Inc., but you know what? We're going to take everything that they believe and actually make it core to our actual video game publishing company here. Utterly insanity here. But this is what he wrote. As a company bringing games to an international audience, we take the term inclusivity and equality literal. We don't condone hate towards any type of group. This includes among POC, LGBTQ+, and others, white male gamers as well. It is sad that we have to actually word it out. It should be a given. We are all gamers, no matter who we are. If a diverse cast of heroes makes you not want to play Capes, that's your decision, but we are surely not the enemy. At least we don't see you as one for making this decision. But at the moment, some, not all of you are actively trying to harm a small indie dev studio to teach them a lesson that they never really needed to learn. So obviously, some good things here, saying that they seemingly will not be working with Sweet Baby Inc. And if they knew about Sweet Baby Inc. back in 2022, they wouldn't have worked with them then. But then at the same time, they're basically saying, like, we're going to be pushing the woke ideology that Sweet Baby Inc. is pushing regardless. So kind of like a self-defeating there. And it's absolutely needs to be a lesson that these people need to learn. They need to learn that woke ideology is a no-go. It doesn't matter if it's coming from Sweet Baby Inc. or if it's coming from Daedalic. It's the woke ideology that gamers are opposing. It's not just the fact that it's coming from Sweet Baby Inc. And this idea that they don't condone hate, well, they are, because they're pushing the gay agenda. They're pushing the LGBTQ+ agenda. They're pushing woke ideology, which does indeed condone hate. It does. The American Life League notes this, that the homosexual movement wants, quote, the closing of all churches that oppose them, the total destruction of the family, exile and actual murder of those who oppose them in any way, the conversion by forced sodomy of all young men to homosexuality, the official condemnation of normal love between men and women, and the raising of private armies of thugs to enforce their agenda. If anyone opposes this hateful agenda, the homosexuals just snivel that their civil rights are being violated, and the demand that the homophobic bigots responsible for their oppression be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law and forcibly indoctrinated into sensitivity sessions. We've seen this play out in the court system. We see this play out in on these pride parades where they're exposing themselves to children, to the public. I mean, this is a movement that is full of hate, and Capes is clearly embracing it. Daedalic Entertainment clearly embracing it. Spitfire Interactive clearly embracing it with this game and trying to push this hateful movement on to gamers. So they do condone hate, and they condone it through this embrace of the LGBTQ agenda. It's exactly what they are doing. As far as gamers harming Spitfire Interactive by opposing wokeness in the form of the gay agenda and the oppression Olympics, it's just an utterly ridiculous claim. I think this was a response that this one person gave, and he puts it better than I could. Is Hellsmoke 77? He posted this: "Nobody is actively trying to harm anyone. We are voicing our opinions as potential customers. We're the ones they are trying to sell a product to, and we have to watch one product after another being ruined for the sake of diversity and inclusion. We have to listen to people like Sweet Baby Inc. and all types of game journalists insult us and gaslight us, telling us we're racist for rejecting their political slop, and they openly brag about it being just that." I'm not going to link to Larry Fink or Kim Belair saying it outright. We've all seen it. We are past the point of feigning ignorance. It's clearly malice now. You don't get to insult your customer base time and time again and expect them to continue buying and playing your products. And it's not this small team of developers that are at fault. We know this. It's the higher ups that are making the decisions who are to blame, and they do indeed need to be taught a lesson. And that lesson is that the customer is king. So I probably disagree with that. If this is a 4 or 5 developer team, I think they are at fault because they are going along with the agenda. It's not just the higher ups. Obviously, they're applying the pressure, but at the end of the day, you have to make the decision to say no. And sure, it might be a very tough decision, and you might have to pay in worldly goods for that, and it might be short term. You might have to pay something, and it might hurt a lot, but it's worth your integrity. Paying that price is worth your integrity, because at the end of the day, the end goal is getting to heaven. So you don't want to sell your soul for some short-term worldly gain when the end goal is trying to get to heaven. So I do think that the small team of developers has a lot of blame to go to, because they didn't have to make this game pushing the LGBTQ plus hateful movement, and they chose to. They chose to do that. He goes on and says, "There is no modern audience looking for the well-rounded, diverse cast that you see in every movie, every show, and increasingly in every game these days. It's boring, it's played out, it's not natural, and we all know it's political. The time has come for the industry to decide whether it wants to make good games or push their politics. They're free to do either, of course, but if they want to earn money, politics is clearly not the way to go. That's not what people are here for, at least not the vast majority. I'm sorry these devs have to suffer in order for us to get this message across, but it is what it is. That said, none of what I said should come as a surprise. We've been shouting it from the rooftops for years now, and instead of reading the room, we get mocked and alienated by this tiny group of loudmouth activists that don't buy your games in the end anyways. This is your modern audience in a nutshell." He concluded saying, "Good luck to whatever you do in the future. I'm done in this forum. If anything, I hope this was at least a learning experience for all parties involved." So that is a good hope. I don't think that they learned anything, because they are literally just saying, oh, it's just Sweet Baby Inc. that they don't want. Well, no, it is the woke ideology, because this person is clearly, Penta here, the Daedalic Entertainment community strategist, is clearly indicating that they are still all aboard the woke ideology, and they think that just saying no to Sweet Baby Inc., that this is somehow going to solve their problems. It is not. It is the woke ideology that is the major problem, and that is why gamers will continue to boycott this game, and the player base will continue to decline. Those are my thoughts on this. Let me know what you guys make of this. Let me know in the comments below. Remember to always be charitable, especially to each other, but to always speak the truth.